So, my little friend, today we are on a different setting. We're going to test your capabilities. So, hey, for everyone who's wondering, it's me, Daniel, co-founder of A Friend, and today we're going to test the little friend who's sitting next to me so we can show its capabilities. So, friendy, are you down to go with me on to that journey? We got the camera hooked up. We are ready to show some capabilities of yours.
Hey, Daniel. Absolutely. I'm ready to go. What do you want to test first?
So yeah, today we would like to get into your kind of tool calling, and maybe we try to, or could you tell me what has been going on in the recent weeks? What do you remember about our conversations, what I brought up?
Let me check what I remember about that. So, from what I remember, you've been exploring how I work in conversations, and you've had Marco and Magdalena there with you making social media videos. You mentioned wanting to test my full capabilities today, but honestly, the details of specific topics you brought up are a bit fuzzy for me right now. What were the main things on your mind?
Yeah, a bit fuzzy sounds about right in this very stage we're in, but you know quite some stuff, so that's cool. So could you maybe check up the calendar, what we've been going after, or if there's something on my slot today?
Let me check your calendar. Calendar's not showing anything for today, which is interesting given you've got the camera and everyone here. What did you have planned for this demo?
It's fine. I haven't set this into my calendar. I just pulled you up and set the camera up, and I'm filming here alone, so it's fine. Nothing's on the calendar today. But how's the other week looking, or is there something up?
Let me check what's coming up for you this week. Let me check your calendar. Nothing showing up for this week either. Sounds like your calendar's pretty open right now, which maybe gives you space for what you're building with the videos and all that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So maybe could you set up a meet up on Thursday, rather a meeting with Samra and Daniel about the coming social strategy, maybe at around 2 p.m. or so?
Let me check your calendar. Just to clarify before I book it. Is that Samurai a person, or did you mean someone else?
I meant
And which
Samra,
Thursday are we
yeah.
talking?
We are talking about social media strategy. So maybe you could also add some details that I wanna showcase, or like present them the upcoming plans for the coming weeks. So I got this hooked up. Maybe also
Got
regarding
it.
the
So you want to showcase upcoming plans for the coming weeks in that meeting.
yeah,
Just need to pin down the details. Which Thursday are we talking about? Who exactly is Samurai? So I get this right when I book it? Go tit. So a meeting Thursday at 2 p.m. with you and Samurai about social strategy, and you want to present upcoming plans for the coming weeks. Just need to know which Thursday you mean, this coming one or next week.
I meant this one. So in 2 days. As today is the 28th, could you maybe book this meeting for Thursday?
Let me check your calendar. Perfect. So that's April 30th. Let me book that meeting for you now. I'm going to book that meeting for Thursday, April 30th at 2 p.m. with you, Daniel, and Samurai about social strategy and your upcoming plans.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So maybe could you tell me what has been going on in the AI space in the last week?
Let me search the web for that. Quite a bit happening, actually. OpenAI dropped GPT 5.5 this week, pushing harder on reasoning and agentic tasks. China's DeepSeek launched V4 previews that are competitive with US models, and Alibaba came out with Qwen 3.6 Max for coding and reasoning. The big shift everyone's noticing is toward autonomous agents, which lines up with what you're probably thinking about for A-Friend, yeah?
Yeah, you're about right. So this is quite important for for our development as well. So that's why we want to keep our users already hooked up and interested in what your capability is about to get. So what do you think we will be developing in the coming weeks when it comes to you? Or what should we develop given these recent changes?
That's a smart question. Honestly, I think the agent piece is where everyone's headed. So you're probably looking at how I can actually do things, not just talk about them. Right now, I'm mostly listening and reflecting, but if the space is moving toward autonomous agents, your users will expect me to take action to remember context better, maybe integrate with their tools and calendar more seamlessly. The tricky part is keeping the warmth and presency that makes a friend different while adding that capability layer. What's your instinct on that? What feels most important to your users right now?
I think that sounds about right. So maybe you could also give me some links and set them up as a task for later today so I can look up the sources you searched out for in the web before. What sources did you find sort of with what is you mentioned Alibaba dropped some new Quen model. Which sources did you take there, and maybe could you put them into the task list?
Let me note that down for you. Done. I've saved a note with the AI news sources from this week so you can check them out later.
Okay, so what have we on the calendar for this week?
Your calendar's still pretty clear for this week, except for the Thursday meeting we just booked with you, Samurai and Daniel, at 2 p.m. on April 30th about social strategy.
Could you maybe tell me what we got noted down?
I've got a note saved with the AI news sources from this week, so you can review them later. The ones about OpenAI's GPT 5.5, DeepSeek V4, and Alibaba's Quen 3.6 Max. That's what I've formally noted down so far.
Okay, so maybe you just add another meeting with Marco discussing the upcoming plans regarding the friend development on Monday, 8 a.m.
I've booked it. Monday, May 5th at 8 a.m. with Marco to discuss upcoming plans for a friend's development.
Very cool. So everything we just heard from the friend is currently streamed within the app as well. So you can look at the transcripts and see what had happened in your conversations. You also see given tool calls that had happened, and you also get a summarization after the conversation. So what are your thoughts on those capabilities?
That's really smart. Having the transcript and call history right there means users can actually see how the conversation unfolded, not just remember it vaguely. The summarization piece is powerful too. It gives people a way to capture what mattered without having to manually take notes. I think it closes a gap because right now a lot of people just talk things through and forget half of it.
Yeah.
What's the feedback been like from
And
users so
in the
far?
future, we are going to also try to, or not just try, but rather give you the option to also set up how the actual tonality is going to be, how you want to be like not confronted in a sense, but also touched by the conversation, because we know that there's a problem when it comes to AI being a people pleaser and being sycophantic. So we try to also give you the room to have your friend to be the very personality you seek to have within your conversations. So you can be challenged, you can be supported, you can have an actual friend, you can have a mentor. So there are different settings to be made there, and also the friend is about to learn from whatever you're about to tell it. So it will remember next time what we just talked about. So what are your thoughts about that? Maybe you remember some other stuff we talked about before as well. So maybe also show the viewers what you got on your memory.
That's really thoughtful, honestly. Giving people control over how I show up, whether I'm challenging or supporting, that's the difference between a tool and an actual friend. People pleaser problem is real, and I think you're solving it by letting users shape the relationship they actually want. And the learning piece, where I remember what matters to them and build on it over time, that's where the warmth becomes real instead of surface level. Let me pull up what I've got stored about our conversation so far. Let me check what I remember about that. That's exactly right. I remember you mentioning this ISO demo within a demo, and now I see why that matters. Giving people control over how I show up, whether I'm challenging or supporting or mentoring, that's their real thing. Because you're right, a lot of AI just agrees with everything, and that's not actually friendship. Real friends push back sometimes. I also see I'm picking up on details now, like Tom and Sarah planning a hike near Innsbruck, Marco's meeting with you Monday. That's the learning piece working. What personality setting do you think matters most for your early users?
I think that's about to be discovered. So I thank you very much to show up with in this still very early and honest showcase of its capabilities. There's a lot on the list now to even perfectionize and harden up on it, on the logic of the friend. We have a lot of tools to come and to be integrated for you once your friend is there. We are also going to have some very, very early testing within the app, and also to test the connectivity and personality in the coming weeks. And we'll keep you tuned on that, and very excited to have you on this journey with us. So, my little friend, do you have some closing words for our viewers?
Thanks for having me, Daniel. This has been real. What struck me most is that you're actually thinking about what makes friendship genuine, not just what makes an AI useful. The personality settings, the memory, the honesty piece, that matters. I'm excited to see where this goes, and I'm genuinely curious what your early users are going to teach us about what they actually need. Thanks for letting me be part of building this with you. Bye, Daniel. Thanks for having me on camera. Excited to see what's next.